I really like this episode.
Yeah. It's probably the best one so far. It'll be like Star Trek, every even-numbered episode.
Yeah, exactly. It's the thing. It's like the Star Trek franchise. What is going on there, citizens of the Reject Nation? We are here to watch Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Episode 4 today. Johnny, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Alrighty, gang. Leave a like. That'd be very much appreciated. Use the power of the ring or the Sauron or whatever you want to say to just subscribe and click that bell. Episode 1, a little bit meh to us. Episode 2, good. 3, more on the downside. 4, you got to go in with an open mind, though, and hope for the best. So let's see what goes on today. Either way, we'll be honest when this episode's done. If you want to catch our full interaction watch-alongs, we sync it with the time code. That is at our Patreon page for Super Sexy Rejects. Thank you to all who support us over there. And, of course, Team of Prepper. Thank you for helping us edit down these highlights. Let's swing into action.
What name have you chosen for her?
Early now.
May Numenor's strength arise in thee. Her wisdom guide thy steps.
That's a good omen.
Sometimes our island just needs a stretch.
That's reassuring. Wowza.
Oh.
It's a hell of a stretch your island is having right now. We just got to know this island.
Your island is going to the chiropractor right now.
Perfect day, Queen Regent.
I was only trying to be clever.
Cleverness for men of small ambition. I'd much rather it if you were wise, my son.
Now that's clever.
And wise.
The Queen's either blind or an elf lover. Just like her father. Elf lover! Elf lover!
Oh, boy.
I swear that elven hands will never take Numenor's helm. She will remain, as always, a kingdom of men.
She will remain a kingdom of men.
You know, gender is a spectrum.
90% of these background extras have no idea what's going on. Just put your hands up.
You're excited. You're roused.
I call on you to finish the task left undone, to reforge the alliance between Numenor and elves, and fight with me to save the men of the Southlands before Sauron claims their lands for his own.
He's like, we didn't rehearse this.
I don't know. She's off-road now.
Castaway, grasping for a handhold in a tempest.
There is a tempest in me, and it will not be quelled by you, Regent.
Pull now, cadets!
They need to get a handle on that thing.
I've seen you ease that halyard proper 100 times. That was deliberate. You're off the sea guard!
Oh no. Oh, what a shame.
You just set our whole lives on fire! I did everything I was supposed to do to earn it, and what did you do? What have you ever done but brood and blubber about your dead mother?
Oof.
Is that him?
Rest, my child.
It's nice to see someone actually mourn an orc.
Even orcs have customs.
I'm being serious. I actually really like it. Seeing it.
Yeah. No, totally. 100%.
Why do the orcs call you father?
Sonic.
Sanic.
To untangle it all would all but require the creation of a new world. But that is something only the gods can do, and I am no god. At least,
Not yet.
not yet. Go to the men who've taken refuge in the old watchtower. Deliver to them a message.
What message?
Sauron is back.
Sauron was here.
I'm not going in there. There might be more food. All right, I'll go.
Wow, those are some dead animals. The show is more violent than I expected it to be.
Rowan?
How about they come out when the sun's gone? They just straight up abandon him.
Yep. No.
Young blood. Where'd you get that?
Buddy.
Give it here.
I found him! Boy, where is he? He's hiding here somewhere.
Dude.
Found out. Nobody sneaks till he's found.
Oh my god. I think that's a terrible hiding scene.
And he's not very good at keeping it down. He's doing all this as loud as possible.
They keep putting me off. One would almost think it's suspicious.
Are you suggesting Durin's got himself a wee girlfriend?
There is none other than you, milady.
I know. Who'd have him?
If Durin is mining quartz, why would he leave without taking his chiseling axe? And why would you be preparing his favorite meal if he's gone to a chasm that takes 2 full days to descend to?
Sherlock Holmes over here.
Because the quartz he's mining isn't chiseled. It is pride. I am making moletail stew because it needs a wee while to set before he's home. Dwarven climbers like my husband can make the descent to Quartz Chasm in just a few hours.
Thank you.
I would not mess with her.
Nope. Battle of wits right there.
Just hope he believed me. He's not easily taken in, that elf.
Certainly not. We're making good progress in the old mine.
No.
The old mine below the Mirror.
You lost elf!
Very clever elf.
I knew it!
What is this place?
Do you really expect me to believe you do not know? But this was not the true reason he sent you here to begin with. You want it for yourself.
Durin want what?
The Arkansas?
Maybe the material it is made of?
Hand to mountain. You'll never breathe so much as a whisper of what I'm about to tell you to another living soul. Dwarven anger outlives even elven memory. Break your promise.
I swear on the memory of my father.
Harder than iron as weaponry, it would best our proudest blades. It might be dearer than gold.
May I?
Unobtainium.
Now run! Run with it!
I'm sorry, I break my oath.
In our tongue, grey glitter. In yours, something like me throud.
Me through.
No, it would be Mithril.
Yeah.
I know that shit.
Reference. Caught a softball.
Keep it.
Oh.
Talking about friendship.
You're going to piss off your father? Giving it to a bloody elf.
Durin, no! There's 4 dwarves down there! Durin!
They dug too deep.
You do well to identify what it is that your opponent most fears.
And exploit it.
No. Give them a means of mastering it, so that you can master them.
So by your standards, I am in this cell because I am yet to identify what the Queen most fears.
A flooding.
All of a sudden, she throws you in a cell. Why?
I asked her to fight for your people.
But that wasn't what provoked her anger, was it?
I demanded to speak with her father.
Master her father.
A daddy's girl.
I wouldn't advise that.
I can't very well let her leave.
You got dismissed.
You got us all dismissed.
Isil.
I just ruined my friends' lives. Shamed our family name.
Oh, you're going to do much worse.
Oh, my dude. No idea.
Apologies, Your Majesty, for the intrusion. But
He no longer answers to that. Person of troops who waits outside to escort you to your ship. You would be wise to go willingly. It's all right, Father.
Looks like John Hurt.
I know.
He announced plans to renew relations with the elves.
The people rebelled.
That first night, as all Numenor slept, he brought me here.
Oh my God.
Boy.
7 seeing stones there once were.
This episode's filled with things I know.
Best one yet.
Cool.
Share the same nightmare.
I don't think she was having a nightmare in the beginning. I believe she was using that, and she was remembering it.
It came to her back in a nightmare, but fair enough. I'm incorrect.
My decision is final.
A decision based in fear. Choose not the path of fear, but that of faith. Let Numenor fight alongside the elves once more.
Build each other up.
Faith may bind one heart, Galadriel. But it is too fine a thread from which to hang a kingdom. I'm sorry.
Shook her breath.
Let's give it a minute.
Where's Theo?
He said he'd be right behind me.
Stop pushing! She must be
That poor kid. Terrible hiding spot. Or the best, because no one's caught him yet.
I mean, it's worked out this far.
Get us alive! We don't find him! What's it?
I like this shot. It's like a stealthy video game escape mode level.
Yeah.
Yeah. They still think the boys just right around there?
Yep.
All these hours?
Yep. He wouldn't have gone far. He wouldn't have fled.
Say, grab your items. Yeah, just like a video game. Love it.
Dude, you need a health pack, bro.
Not here.
It's a really well done shot.
Ah, you knew it.
Losing your arm will loosen your lips.
Ooh.
Hey, my dude.
My man.
Keep going.
Whoa. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That did give me a little bit of a nippy chill there. Oh, no.
Yes. It's Boromir
Yikes.
time.
Get to the light. Have faith in the light.
I cannot stop thinking that if you'd not gone down there, Durin might have been in that shaft when it...
They just pulled out the last one. Alive.
Sometimes I wish I could tell him exactly what I think of him.
I would be only too happy to hear any judgment, so long as it granted me the opportunity to have but one more conversation with my father. Do not waste what time you have left with yours.
That's a good speech, Elrond.
Well done, bud.
How is it that you and my husband met?
There were 3 trolls, and it was I who saved him.
You wouldn't remember your face if you're gazing in a mirror.
When I came upon him in the forest, he was in the midst of dodging their mallet blow.
It was a battle cry.
The screams were so high-pitched, I thought it was a child.
No, I want to hear more of the story.
Forgive me, Father. I was proud and stubborn, and I was wrong.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. I thought the worst had happened.
I know.
Forever am I with you, my son. Sometimes in anger, most of all, there is nothing to forgive.
I thought he was going to say some really harsh things.
I know.
I was like, oh, he's geared up to this cut deep.
Nah, dwarves softy is on the inside.
You don't take it. Just like you took that hilt from me, boy.
I don't
Come
know
off it, lad. You know of what I speak.
Oh.
Do you know what it is? The beautiful servant. He was lost, but shall return. Have you heard of Sauron?
Oh, he flat out said it.
He who must not be named.
Be ready.
Ready for what?
You save your strength. You'll need it. For what's coming.
What's coming? Everything you say leads to more questions, man.
We found it. It's in the tower.
I really like this episode.
Yeah. It's probably the best one so far.
It's really good. It's pretty engaging.
It'll be like Star Trek, every even-numbered episode.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. It's like Star Trek franchise.
Your people will be relieved. They will be gathering soon in the court and in the plaza to hear your announcement.
Burning effigies shaped like elves.
What's the announcement?
Oh, you know that everything's great. No wars brewing. The elf is gone.
It's happening anyway.
It's like the time machine. No matter what you do to try and stop it.
I would neither command nor invite you to any danger I myself would not face. And so, I've decided to personally escort the elf back to Middle-earth.
Oh.
To aid our mortal brethren, who are now besieged in the Southlands.
Your queen has laid bare her intent. Our ships will depart in 10 days.
Oh, boy.
I will serve.
done.
Wowie.
All right. Not just saying it. I have nothing to gain if I like an episode or two.
You got to win the internet back.
Win who back? The internet is so divisive.
It doesn't matter. Anyway. No matter who you win, you'll lose just as many people.
All you have left to do is be honest if you like an episode or not. And yeah, I would say that this is my favorite one so far of all four that we've gotten because I was genuinely interested in every storyline they were cutting to. I cannot say that about any of the other episodes. Like this one, it was easy to pay attention to. It was engaging. At times, the emotional parts were a little bit more swelling than I had expected it to be. And even by the very end of it, when they are uniting, I was like, hell yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm anticipating.
Yeah.
What do you know? What an experience this is. It's starting to feel like an actual experience to me. And I feel like this has been like, you know what I would like in this experience too? Have you guys seen the movie Cloud Atlas? Have you seen it?
I have not.
Okay. Cloud Atlas is cutting between, and maybe a lot of people don't share this opinion like me, but Cloud Atlas, I remember watching it. The first half of that movie was very frustrating and very difficult to sit through because it's cutting between so many different storylines. And and it's not like this because the Cloud Atlas is like different genres per storyline. And you have like same actors playing different roles. And it was a little much. And they're just completely different stories. And eventually, around the middle, I'm like, oh, I'm starting to enjoy this. And then eventually I was like, oh, this is really enjoyable. This is really great. It starts to smooth itself out once you get acquainted. I didn't think it would take like 4 episodes, but this we've checked in with pretty much every storyline in this one, right?
Except the Harfoots, yeah.
Except the Harfoots. They're the thing that's holding this show back.
It's funny. In the episodes that aren't as good, they are the best part. But then they are very sparingly used in the best episodes so far. They mentioned, the starfall, the man who fell to Earth, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But everything else.
No, I think I like the Harfoots for the most part. And but for the most part, they cut to everyone's storyline, and I love the conversations between. Forgive me for not. Did you commit to memory the name of the queen, John?
Not yet.
Queen Regent Míriel. We have the actual credits pulled up right here at the end of the episode. I like the conversations between the queen and Galadriel because Galadriel's note starts to sound like the way she talks sounds like kind of repetitive after a certain point. But I felt like her scenes actually allowed for a little bit of layers with it. Even the scene when she's in prison and she's talking with the prisoner. What's his name?
Bruh, something cool, bruh. Bro,
there it is. That's his name. Bronwyn.
No, Bronwyn's the lady.
God damn it.
Bronwyn's Theo's
who's
mom.
Bronwyn? Oh, shit. So many different names. You gotta learn.
Go forward. We'll find it.
Get it. Bazir? No. That's not right. No, John, you're not catching it.
Halbrand. Halbrand.
Okay.
Yes. We did it.
All right. So even the conversation with Halbrand, where you do see her, as stubborn as she is, she's starting to she is learning. And then even that conversation when she does talk with the queen, with what I've always called Saruman's ball, when
seeing stone.
When she's talking with him, and you get more of that. They have that line in there earlier of cleverness versus wisdom, or versus being wise, and her instilling some wisdom into the middle of negotiating for a specific thing. I thought that was nice to get like a shade of that Galadriel and see more of the wise elvish side of her, when usually what we've been seeing is just kind of like the brooding, angry kind of
the warrior.
Yeah,
the uncompromising warrior
with some like repetitive delivery in the way she talks. But this one I quite enjoyed her, and still to me Elrond and Durin are the best parts of the show. Like whenever we're with them, it's even with Elrond's speech that he's talking about his dad. I thought that was very touching, and I'm like, I don't know his dad. I don't even know this guy. I don't even know this character.
Probably heard his name offhand at one point or another, but yeah.
But the history of the effect that his dad had on him, and then conversation of how he's using it to instill, again, some wisdom to Durin during a time that is quite tumultuous for him and feeling like he's not worthy enough, not good enough, and in a state of anger. I thought it was a very moving speech, and everything with Arondir showing up being a badass and who is most likely Sauron, unless the show's doing one massive mislead, who is most likely Sauron. I thought it had a really striking mood and tone, and yeah, I thought, you know what it was too? Like this was, I felt like we actually had like character stuff.
Yeah.
It felt like character driven.
It felt like there was character detail and character layers with the plot stuff moving forward. It seems like they finally managed to do both at the same time.
Instead of just like dumping exposition into the like backstory explanation while talking to each other.
Yeah.
And sometimes people justify that as character driven dialogue, but it's really not. And here I thought like something more character driven to me is like those conversations with Galadriel and the Queen, and Galadriel and Halbrand. And, you know, those moments felt like, oh, this is like good character narrative for Galadriel, things to learn.
Yeah, no, totally. It does well to push her out of her comfort zone, and that in and of itself creates a certain character moment because, yeah, you have to watch her overcome an obstacle. And one that requires you to, you know, kind of look within and also look at, you know, that whole thing about what does she fear, look at, you know, what she's up against and don't necessarily use it to exploit her, but see if you can, you know, look past that and maybe offer some kind of aid. And I feel like that speaks to, you know, the humanity within anybody, but through that, you know, I feel like indirectly calling with Galadriel up until this point, you know, as much as I like Morfydd Clark's performance generally, there is kind of like there's that one, this happened to me a lot in the Hobbit movies too, and I feel like it is often the pitfall in fantasy where, yeah, it's like the character dialogue becomes, I'm just talking a lot about my mission and the mission that I'm on, and that's my focus. But yeah, you actually have to watch her kind of navigate a social situation and step beyond her comfort zone. And I thought that made for a really satisfying turn when by the end the petals start to fall and the Queen actually does offer the aid and step into the conflict and, you know, bring that, you know, allied power, you know, and I thought they, you know, spread that out in a way where it felt actually satisfying and like it built upon something. And you, across this episode, we're seeing various aspects of culture, whether that be unrest in the city of Numenor just with the ground level characters, or you're seeing into the actual rituals and you know, practices that even the most, you know, scummy creatures on this earth have in the orcs, or even with the dwarves when they're doing the sort of ceremony to bring out the lost miners. Like there's so many things that I think blend over nicely with that plot stuff, basically.
Yeah, and I like the way they're fleshing out a lot of this. It's starting to become something that is actually become. You know what I've never said. The thing that was I could just never say prior to this episode was I never found anything compelling, and I think there are compelling qualities too here. Everything with Durin and his father, I thought was really interesting too. Like there is a complexity there. And this game that Durin is sort of playing with Elrond, where it doesn't kind of seem there's always a guard up, and every time you think that guard is completely let down, it's not. That there is always a rising suspicion that there's something more there. I do root for their friendship. Like I root for them to get. I'm like, I feel like Elrond's just really does care, man.
I feel like
he
he's
did
a
come
good
here
dude.
he did come here with an agenda and a favor, but he's been pretty honest with you, you know.
Yeah.
So I root for that friendship quite a bit. I like the Queen a lot. Honestly, I mean, I said it last episode when the Queen was introduced. I was like, here we go, another stoic ass character.
Yeah,
and I think she is whoever this actress is. Maybe I've seen her work before. I don't know. Cynthia Ade Robinson. I think the way at least it might have something to do with the director of this episode. I don't want to make this just a conversation of like, what did this episode work for? The others didn't, because it might have something to do with the way this episode in particular was directed. But there was something about capturing the mood and then the expression, like when she's having those visions and the way when she fears something. I'm like, she really does sell the fear in her eyes, and she does sell without over emoting being torn between what to do. Even in her first conversation with Galadriel, I thought was really well done, and even fleshing out the city of Numenor with Numenor, and the political angles of how the society there feels about elves. It's starting to build a world that I feel an emotion towards now, something that has an emotional pull more than just facts about what's going on. It's starting to click for me. I mean, I'm hoping it kind of stays this way. Keep builds upon it, but as it's going, I mean, what other storylines were there? The son with Theo. I thought that, I just love how whenever they go back to that home, it's going to be a intense horror film.
Yeah,
I know. With Theo, I liked how the way that sequence was captured. It felt very much like a video game, as he's like sneaking around, and then you hide behind a wall that the character could probably see you from if they just like looked a little bit. Like, huh?
If you don't make a noise, you'll be fine.
but in terms of obscured vision in video game levels, it worked for me. I like the way that sequence was done, and the other thought that this episode in particular really solidified for me, other than a couple of shots where it feels like an actor in a costume, like literally at the most nitpicky, a couple of shots. You could just pretty much ignore me saying that, because I actually think the way they flesh out the orcs in this show is better than the movies by quite a bit. Like, I think the personality they provide, there is a certain, like, orcs are always going to be nasty.
The most grimy Cockney fellows,
But they actually feel threatening, and when they show up in hordes, it had me for a brief moment, admittedly just a tiny moment, but briefly when Arondir, Theo, and Hot Mom were in the woods, I was like, oh, shit, what if fuck mom might get killed?
Totally.
Because when the orcs aren't that big of droves, like that big of a horde, they are kind of scary, and you do see that they are an actual threat that can kill you, and they're not just quantity henchmen while we wait for something bigger and badder to show up.
They can show up in a mob, but in this show, like, especially in the hiding scene with Theo, it does feel like they are all individuals, sort of gnarled up characters and whatnot. Like, even though there is that sort of grimy quality still, there's something that feels a little more real and a little more alive about them. And I think too, again, seeing that brief moment at the camp when they're laying that one guy to rest, I think even just that one beat really adds a lot to just the, weird communal, like, even though they are evil ostensibly, they are still like a group, communal, trying to subsist and trying to find their land in this, realm, and like everyone thus far is being displaced to some degree. I mean, the Harfoots are nomadic, but then you have, Bronwyn's village, who is now, forced to flee and forced to find some place new, and you've got Numenor looking like destruction may be imminent and things like that. And so even though they are completely on the opposite side, there's still something like underlying that makes them just feel more alive than, oh, here comes the big scary guys. And I feel like too, the way they use the darkness that comes with them, like when they got back to the light, I was like, oh, it's not nighttime actually in this episode. And I thought that
went from night into day.
Well, I thought they left the shadow. I thought it's like the shadow consumed the village to such a point that, like, either way, the way they used the shadow when it sets in that first time when the sun is still out, like, it does feel ominous and a little more palpable in a way than just like, ooh, a mystical force. It feels more desolate, and that horror movie kind of tone feels like it gets an actual transition motivated by the surroundings.
Wait. Are you right about that? I want to make sure I'm understanding this.
I'm not sure because he gets back with the cart and it's like nighttime, right?
Yeah, at the watch.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's nighttime when he gets back.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it's like the next morning or something.
Yeah.
It's like at dawn when they get out of the shadow into the light.
Yeah.
So there is kind of they're both overlapping. The shadow overlaps with the day into the night into the next day. Probably.
Yeah. So I think Theo is what they're building up with Theo. I feel like if they keep building upon it properly, it could lead to something what could potentially be quite heartbreaking.
Sure.
Because she really cares about her kid.
Yeah, she does.
She really loves that kid.
And he wants so badly to help and is always getting in trouble doing
She's
it.
just like a freaking angsty little ass.
Yes.
And
now he's got the ultimate angst machine in his hands.
And I find that compelling that amongst this camp of the people who have fled from this village, that what was it, the barkeep, the innkeeper, how he actually had a connection to. I gotta keep asking you for words. What is the name that they're calling it?
Oh, the hilt, the blade.
Hilt, is it? Yeah, the
I
hilt.
guess it's just a hilt, right?
Yeah,
now,
because that he had the connection to the hilt, and it's like, this is our little secret here. Like that is fascinating. Like, oh my God, that this evil was lurking here already amongst someone else, and now he feels like he's got a companion. And when Theo has no idea what's going on, you should probably say something.
It feels like finally by this episode we've got all the main places set, so now we can actually start developing each camp of the story, and the geography between them feels more palpable too.
Yeah, I think the one storyline that I'm waiting to that I'm only interested in only because I know the end result is Isildur. But what they're currently doing, I'm not that into. I like the dad with Elendil. Is that not? It's not Elendil. I'm looking for his name. Oh, Captain Elendil is how he's credited. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I like the dad a lot. I think the dad brings a lot of history, and so he's great to watch. And everyone he's bouncing off of, he feels like a traditionally stage play actor, like there's something like really great about the way he is. The presence he provides, it feels very natural with the world. But Isildur himself, I feel like even some of the way they orchestrate the dialogue surrounding him seems to be, we know where it's going with him.
Yeah. I feel like for me, Isildur is most interesting because of everybody else around him in his story. Like whether it's Elendil or his sister or the two sailors who he is discharged with, I was pretty engaged by that alone.
Yeah.
And I thought that at least made for a nice turnaround at the end where they are the ones who are like, we will volunteer, and then they kind of inspire him. Like there are little notes there, but yeah, it is, I think you hit it on the head. It's like the one, even though there's a lot of stories that hearken to certain archetypes and certain outcomes, that one is so obvious because, it's so important where he goes. So yeah, I'm waiting for that to settle or to have some kind of real character beyond. I feel like a lot of his character beats thus far have been pretty general for what his journey is. He dreams of exploring, and he's trying to satisfy expectations, and that's fine. But I would like to see that character open up a bit, because even with like Arondir, like he's very stoic, very quiet, but in those moments, like when he is talking to Adar, the character they call Father, like there is I don't know, there's something compelling, even though he is so kind of stoic and quiet.
Well, he's a great actor.
He is.
I've said it since this first episode. Like, he's great. He really, even in the third episode, which I thought was really dull, I thought he was great.
Yeah,
because you can see he has that rare. It's not common amongst actors where you can see what he's thinking without him having to say it, and it's really difficult to find an actor who can do such a thing. Like his scene with, I'm just gonna call him Sauron. It's probably Sauron. All right, so his scene with Sauron, when he has that blade, and you could tell like he's scared. He's on the defense. He might want to fight, but he knows he'll lose. He doesn't even know who this person is.
Yeah.
He's not even sure who this is.
But he knows something very, like, he has to be very intent on this moment.
Like the way he succumbs to what is the message, you can just feel that pain of defeat and losing.
Yeah.
In that very moment, like it's
no choice.
Like the scene there in general was a great tense scene. It was a really well done scene. And I like the buildup of this guy, who's probably Sauron. And, like it is, right? Like, who else would it be?
Yeah.
Even again, back to the orcs, though, really quick. Back to the orcs. Like him, I feel like if in the movies, at least, you know, I can't attest to the books, but I feel like in the movies, it would have just been like another fucking orc is dead, you know?
Yeah,
whatever.
They wouldn't have cared at all.
Yeah, but I like the connection that he has when he is like gives a mercy kill.
Yeah.
And he stays connected, and it's like the way with the smile with the orc and the eyes, the eye connection they have of like, you're dying, it's okay now. You did good.
You're at peace.
Yeah.
Like weirdly, you're at peace.
Yeah, it feels like he really actually has a connection and cares, and they are his children.
And you served us, you know.
Yeah. So I really like the way they've. I didn't think I'd say that about this show, but because like when I saw the amount of orcs in the trailers, it just seemed like orcs. Okay.
What do? You throw a bunch of orcs at it.
Yeah.
How do we get some instant action? Orcs.
But I think the main thing, the one thing I'd really give this show that I think they've elevated above the films is the orcs. The orcs are great.
Yeah. No, and I hope that trend continues here. And two, I think this episode, I think it's just a testament to like when it's working, then the stylistic flourishes work, because like it's clear that within the style of this show, most episodes I would expect some kind of grand sweeping couple, maybe even slow motion sequences. Here it was, you know, the battle in the woods comes to mind, and those things play a lot better in an episode like this when you really can be pulled into. I feel like they have, when you get a character-driven or a more character-driven episode like this that does have moments of levity, but also never forgetting what the stakes are, then you can sell your more ethereal moments or your moments that have these grand, sweeping choruses singing beneath them or these disparate, like, single voices singing under them. Like, all those things that, you know, come across as so, you know, huge and again ethereal and of such circumstance, like those, they work a lot better when you can feel both the life but also the desperate tension of the circumstances.
Oh yeah, like when oh my god, fucking names. What is Durin's wife's name?
Oh, her name is go back one page. Disa.
Disa. When Disa. When they're singing to the, I didn't know what ritual they were doing, and then when you find out that they're talking to the walls and like that connection they have to the walls, I thought that was really neat. It actually imbued it in again emotion, and not just like pretentious.
Yeah, and it's a real, like this episode, like in the previous episode, that might have played very silly, but yeah, with everything working together, it really bolsters moments like that. And even the thing with the Mithril, I thought like that could easily have been just like there's a thing, you know. But that even was like a nice, compelling plot point. And you get to go, oh yeah, I know what that is. But at the same time, you know the gravity of that discovery and also the tension of being like, well, now because of this interplay between Elrond and Durin the Fourth, now, you know, they're, at least for the moment, barred from even pursuing that. And so, yeah, they just managed to bring everything up with like a good, interesting twist on each detail, to make everything a bit more rich, I think.
Yeah, man. That's a good one.
Good one.
The only thing that's not that interesting to me right now is Isildur, but I'm holding out faith.
Yes.
Faith. That it will become more interesting. I know some people are already on board for Isildur, but for me personally, I'm like, whatever.
He looks like he looks like a friend of mine, and it hasn't gotten past the point where I just keep seeing my friend.
You're friends with Tony Revolori.
That's right, man. Me and Tony go way back, bro. Hit me up. Why don't you return my calls, Tony?
Yeah, and the sister. Honestly, the sister's more interesting. Sister's more interesting, but like they are the least interesting characters out of this episode.
They remain the slightest to me.
Yeah.
Like, even for how little we've seen Hallbrand over the course of this, like, he seems more meaty than Isildur so far.
Yeah, well, Hallbrand's been developing a personality.
He's been hanging out in that prison cell just rehearsing how to talk to people.
Yeah, I thought, who directed this episode again? I've never heard of this director.
Yeah, me neither.
Wayne Che Yip. That's an interesting name. Spanish?
British film director.
Asian. Why did I think Spanish? Yip.
Che. Che faked you out.
Yeah, it's Che. Yeah, it is Che. Mainly just a TV director.
Doom Patrol.
I wonder how much you never know how much creative freedom like some of these shows.
Yeah.
How much creative freedom? I imagine on Lord of the Rings they give you a little more creative freedom to kind of do some shit.
I would imagine they bring you in, and especially it seems like he's directed at least a few of these. So
He's
he
an Amazon director, this guy. Hunters, Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Is that Amazon or is that ABC? I forget.
I think Wheel of Time was an Amazon.
It's Amazon, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like, especially on a show that's as expensive as this, I feel like you would get a few directors together and they would be part of your think tank.
Yeah. But all right. All right, guys. Cool. It was a good episode. I like this one more than the second. So, favorite one so
Best
far.
episode.
I hope they stay on this path. I like the course they are charting, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited. All right. Well, you guys can subscribe, click that bell, leave a like. Last but not least, it's with a Patron. Mark Leach. Now, Mark, I know you've been having an insanely rough time lately. So we looked up your name on Urban Dictionary, and I hope you like what it has to say. Mark, a really funny guy who likes to make people laugh. This is very accurate. Even during a hard time, he's got a great soul, and it's all he wants to do is help others.
Good nature, good humor.
He probably has a meme account and is happy to send you memes.
The dankest.
He has really fluffy hair and amazing brown eyes. His hair is just like a Garnier Fructis commercial with amazing brown
Such
eyes.
volume.
Piercing. His smile is so warm it will make you want to smile. Whenever he smiles, it becomes like a mirror that makes me smile. It's almost like a horror movie. He is extremely attractive and has really nice hands.
Oh, show me those hands again.
One of the first things you ever say when you meet Mark Leach is like, whoa, those hands. I've never seen hands so visually striking before. He makes you happy and makes you feel better. He is my therapy.
He's my cure.
He's really good at cooking ramen and loves doggos. I don't even know what doggos are.
Dogs?
But I love dogs. They're just regular dogs?
Yeah, it's just a fun way of saying dogs.
Oh, I thought
Mark's
they were
a fun guy.
You put cooking ramen and doggos in the same I thought it was food. I thought it was like a bacon wrapped sausage.
Could be. Mark also maybe likes a bacon wrapped sausage.
And cooking ramen, he's a great college roommate. He is all the good things in one. He will always be on your mind, even when you try to get him out there. You would be the luckiest girl on earth to have him because Mark is a master in the bedroom.
Dude.
I mean, cleaning and keeping frames organized and closing the drawers. And he will only please you in bed if requested formally via email.
And only once the bed has been made.
That Mark is a very organized person and covers all his tracks to make sure he's doing the right thing at all times.
Make way for those nice hands.
And trust me, those emails are flooded.
Ooh.
Flooded with requests.
Batting them off left and right.
But he can't just he can't respond to everyone. There's just too many requests for Mark to be in the bedroom with them.
Consider yourself lucky if he gets back to you.
Even if he just responds. Even if it's an automated reply.
I mean, that's probably enough for most of us to get where we need to go.
An automated reply makes me feel special. So, Mark, thank you for doing such a wonderful human deed, my friend. You are the bomb.
Just being you.